The newly released info on the expansion has shown us many new exciting features that are being brought into Sword and Shield with each adventure. With new Pokemon and types being revealed, there's one thing that's not always looked at as a hidden secret in the same way, but is still a special part of the game to unlock and experience for yourself. New Signature Pokémon Moves. A lot of new moves have been released for the Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra DLC, and as that's an awesome feature to go into, I thought we could go more in depth and look into each new move that's released for a specific Pokemon and see what they can bring to the games and how well they were modeled after each new Pokemon's backstory. Together we'll be going over all the recently released new signature moves in the Sword and Shield DLC, and even the new G-Max moves from the recent trailer, as those are exclusive moves, and didn't want to leave them out as some of you might want those included. We'll be analyzing and ranking them in terms of which is the best based on strength, abilities of what their moves can do, as well as how they improve and exhibit a Pokemon's style, and the crazy animations and features they bring to their new Pokemon's charm. Please drop a like and subscribe for more DLC news and videos when that's out, as we look through the top 10 new signature moves in the soon-to-be-released Sword and Shield expansion. And we'll be covering a lot more topics when the game is coming out. Thanks for being here. Number 10. Venusaur. Venusaur now has a brand new special move called G-Max Vine Lash. G-Max moves are a bit harder to compare in terms of strength to regular signature moves, as they're made to be even more over the top and vary in base power and whether it's physical or special depending on the move it's using as a base. That doesn't stop us from comparing it in terms of what any signature move can be known for with how well they make the Pokemon using it look. It's alright, it's pretty good. I know it's number 10, but there's really only 10 moves and they're all really good, and Vine Lash is pretty decent as a special move for Venusaur. You've got this powerful blow with Venusaur's memorable vines that also lets us see those hidden shootable whips that aren't usually shown in its art. Vine Whip might as well be an exclusive Easter egg move to the Bulbasaur line, as it keeps its own vines hidden away. Its vines are just a good part of Venusaur to use for a special move. Maybe could have added some more to the animation, nice form on the aerial vine display, good shine of approval, great execution on the explosion, but oh, missed that satisfying pop sound you get when you open up a can on that hit. Could have sounded a little bit more rewarding, maybe a satisfying whiplash sound effect there. If we took the Switch intro sound and dropped that when those vines flick, it could be much higher up on this list. Its ability is the same as Charizard's, where it damages the opponents for 4 turns, aside from Pokemon that are grass. And it's safe to guess it'll also do 1/6 of the opponent's max HP on each of those 4 turns like Charizard, even without that being mentioned yet. Vine Lash is a fitting move for Venusaur, has good art, and brings back memorable traits, but falls a little short to these other signature moves in a comparison of style. Number 9. Slowbro. There actually isn't a move on this list that isn't good. Even in the lower spots with only 10 reveal picks to choose from currently, moves like Slowbro's Shell Side Arm is a classic way of showing off a focal point of a Pokemon's design and giving them a move that's clean and doesn't need to rely on an explosive animation to be both fitting and rewarding to use. Unless you're a G-Max move, I guess, because then you have to bring in every effect you can find in Adobe Premiere because that's their thing. A regular signature move like this goes really well with Slowbro's notable change to a hand cannon, allowing it to shoot special blasts like purple Mega Man pellets while drawing attention to its new type and new Shelter shotgun. Shell Side Arm is a poison type special move that can poison the target, but its main ability is choosing between physical or special damage depending on which will damage the target more. We don't know the base damage of it yet, but its ability is similar to Photon Geyser's swapping damage between Necrozma's higher stats, but with some extra features. Slowbro's could be focused on its higher offensive stat, but also add in which defensive stat is lower on your opponent, leading to a lot of different options on how to maximize the damage in battles. The move could be good to use with its added effects, but as a design choice for Galerian Slowbro, it manages to look like a good one to experience with a simple animation displaying Slowbro's silly personality. Number 8. Regilecki. This move isn't good. Okay, Thunder Cage as a move to use in battle looks good, and the effect it has pushes it up on this list. But there's always this constantly repeated story of anything with electric powers in games or shows where they're restricted from using their power, and then after a few action scenes they unleash this attack they can't control and don't learn how to use properly until sometime during an important fight in Season 2. There's no way that's not going to be Regilecki's story. You know, if you shuffle Thunder Cage into a hat with Discharge and Overdrive, you can really just describe each of them and what they do with their technical meanings. Thunder Cage does look to be a good move trap, and it does work in the narrative of Regilecki being strapped with equipment to insulate its power out of fear. And now it's outwardly projecting the societal cage it's been put in and unleashing the thunder within itself freely. So that's like a whole growing of age story in one 3-second animation. It's nice to see Thunderbolt in a new light that's specific to a certain Pokemon, and electric Pokemon always manage to show off in a high production kind of way. Just seeing Regilecki fly above its opponent and creating the cage it makes with bolts around, while shooting larger ones directly down at them, really makes it one of those signature moves that you can tell who it was personalized for. Number 7. Blastoise. Another G-Max move enters the battlefield with Blastoise Cannonade. Still a bit hard to compare the strength of G-Max moves to regular signature moves, but the chunky turtle shooting water pulses out of every cannon it can latch onto its shell, along with that savage look on its face while charging up its renewable energy sources to unleash this torrential flood, just surpasses these last moves in terms of design. Safe to say it also has the same damage chart and percentage health damage as Charizard, with it also having the same ability as Venusaur. That doesn't work on water types. But the move's strong presentation really speaks for itself when seeing it in comparison to the rest, and shows why it climbed up to the number 7 spot on this list. Number 6. Galerion Articuno. The revamped legendary bird trio and their new outfits managed to each bring a new specialized signature move of their own to Galar. That's one of the best packages they could have been gifted with, as starting off with Articuno's Freezing Glare, we now have something for each of them to enhance their new designs, rather than just having pseudo-signature moves, like Ice Beam, Blizzard, and the counterpart type moves of those for the others being the moves they were known for. Freezing Glare is a good move for Articuno's new personality, and being a Psychic Beam shooting out of its eyes goes well with how tiny they are and hidden by its visor-looking design. It does sort of just look like a Psychic-type Ice Beam from its eyes that also has a chance to freeze, so hopefully it at least has more damage than Psychic and Ice Beam, as it is a little too close to just being a polymerization of both. But the harsher impact on its animation in the trailer feels like it's at least 120 base power, and overall its animation does give it some more excitement than the other two moves, and is a nice move on its own to give to the bird that has references to its old ice form in the ability and name. Number 5. Galerion Zapdos. Zapdos' new fighting form brings in that rugged jump to conclusions look we've known Zapdos for since its original form. And with it being shaped into this grounded roundhouse looking brawler, its new move Thunderous Kick hits hard both in its way of representing its new theme, and with that leap into the air, ending with a detonating strike. It looks like a powerful move, and seeing how it looks when it connects, feels like at least 120 base power. Thunderous Kick being the only signature physical move out of the trio gives it a distinctive impression from the others, and really complements Galarian Zapdos' prominent swap to a physical fighter. Thunderous Kick has the ability to lower the target's defense. It's an alright effect that can lead to some advantages, but in terms of referencing its old form like Articuno's I-Beam being able to freeze, flinching might have been a better bridge between a crazy physical move that scares you and electric paralysis as an homage to its original type alongside the name. Moltres does have flinching in its ability, but that might have been able to be transferred for a stat drop with these two. Thunderous Kick just looks to be a satisfying move to use in general, but also a well-made choice specific to Galarian Zapdos to get it back into the sky and hone in on its opponents. Number 4. Reggie Drago. I can't objectively know how powerful these moves are yet, and while a move that does damage based on how high the user's HP is, means it requires them to never take a hit when using it to get the maximum damage, it might be pretty weak if it's not fast enough. But the physical transformation into another Charizard form to complete the 5-piece Charizard Exodia would do more damage to their spirit than to just HP. That just looks sick. I don't know if they'll make it transform into this head with every beaming move like Pokemon Stadium animations for every attack, but that is a large redeemable laser. And you never know. Maybe it has a base power of 240, and even when you're at 50 HP, it could still look to have 120 base power. In general, I think having a move that remodels your Pokemon to shoot out a divinely lit shot, especially with arm pieces that make it into a dragon head, is just an exciting addition. The dragon head is cool on its own, but seeing it open up and let out that roar of energy that lights the floor, and even standing away from the explosion, looking like it's about to turn around for the camera while walking away, is a lot of enjoyment to be given from only one move catering to a Pokemon. Number 3. Ursufu D. The Dark-type Ursufu comes in with a powerful attack known as the Wicked Blow. It looks to be a one-time charged-up punch that guarantees a critical hit. It feels like a good, standard, powerful legendary Pokemon move that has a balance of being one you'll always use, with an exciting animation to see every time. The Dark charge-up into a Ninja Poof to a straight close-up on the punch really takes you back and see the ferocity of the more engage-heavy single-strike form. It also has its G-Max move as well that shows its inner anger and its powered-up single strike in one blow as it loads up that fist with dark energy. It's a high number on this list just based on its regular signature move, but that G-Max move does look to strike powerfully as well, and also goes through max guards. Can't wait to see what Wicked Blow has for its ending scene when it lands, as that lead-in is primed to really set something up. Number 2. Ursufu W. The two Ursufus battled it out, but the water one came out on top with its new water move, Surging Strikes. From the selected animations that were shown, you might move over to the side of Wicked Blow. However, with us not yet seeing this charged up water aura that's shown on the website, that's shown as just an image, or the final strike, and how good those could be, along with the damage this move is capable of doing, Rapid Strike Ursufu managed to push itself into the lead ahead of Single Strike. This move is also guaranteed to crit, but is a 3-hit move, and states that it will always result in critical hits. And since it looks to be a multi-hit move, that has to make every single strike a crit. Both of these legendary signature moves ignore stat changes as well, but that's like 6 times the damage. And even if each hit is only 20, every single one hitting a crit means it's at least 120 base power. Its Gigantamax move, G-Max Rapid Flow, also has a nice charge up and strike as well. But Surging Strikes, having Ursufu load in its Water Veil, and unleashing its multiple attacks from the calm Pokemon it's known to be, while ignoring stat changes and critting on every hit into that final fast kick, covers so many aspects of this Pokemon and looks to be one of the most powerful moves. It's taken some time, but it finally got here. It got close to last on the first video ranking all the new legendary Pokemon. It edged its way into the second spot when we found out last minute that Articuno was kind of having a phase, and now this Pokemon was given something that got it to the top, with number 1 having Galerian Moltres finally be the leader of the group. With its ravaging signature move that set the competition ablaze, Galerian Moltres' Fiery Wrath unleashes a surge of darkness to show you the years it felt being overshadowed by its band members. Look at the aura it summons. This just brings such a presence that has never been seen by Moltres before. Even the multiple cascading bolts that shoot out of what it summoned, and what looks to be it encasing the opponent in darkness, all look amazing. I did say maybe flinching could go with Zapdos, and even a burn or stat drop to allude to the drop in attack from being burned could work well. It might be hard to make that fit in with a dark type special move, even though a Psychic Beam freezing is more of a metaphor, but you know, with a special move that looks like this, that opponent is going to be flinching even before it's hit. So it still remains as a suitable status infliction when dealing with a Pokemon who has this kind of wrath. It just gives Moltres something completely different in its new dark form and shows that big changes can still do great things. Moltres' new signature move brings the feeling of the change to a Berserk Pokemon and is also named well to fit that change. While looking like a powerful move, Fiery Wrath summons a dark aura that when it strikes, feels like it's at least 120 base power.